Hi guys, this is the C64 Dev Machine, I'm calling it, and I just want to kind of talk about this and what it is. So initially it's a 6502 assembly drag and drop type of programming tool where you sort of just drag and drop stuff in, and you need to know a little bit about assembly and how it works in order to sort of suss this out. But basically, yeah, you just do this sort of thing, and eventually you can sort of build something up that will compile and run. The first time you play it, you'll have to locate Vice. So what I do is just right click on my Vice simulator, wherever it is. I'll go to properties and I'll just copy there and then paste it, and then that should open, and that should remember it every time now. So here is my huge screen because I've not actually changed the settings of this. So let me change it to maybe I've just scaled it up. Yeah, I think I've just scaled it up. Right. So there's Vice, looking nice, and you can see it's put these two characters at the top here. Is kind of what it's done, and yeah, it's put 0 into the top left and there, so that's character 0. So you can change this, and you can use decimal. If you just type in 65, it will convert it to hexadecimal, or you can do $42 like that, right, and it will put it in a hexadecimal, and you can toggle between these to see what those values are, and then just run, and it should just boots up Vice here. It's obviously not remembering my screen size, but there you go, I've put in those two characters there, and I guess you'll need to look up the ASCII table to know what characters are which. I always thought like 65 was A or B, so I got them wrong. But anyway, you can sort of just make stuff up there like that. I've not really had a good sit down and made anything with this yet, because I'm just digesting the fact that I've managed to get it to work, which for me is like a huge success. Just getting this to work right. What I want to do eventually, now that I know that I can execute code from GameMaker, although it's basically assembly code at the end of the day, I want to learn to make some little templates to allow people to swap in and out graphics or customize sprites, and it'll be a little bit like shoot 'em up construction kit, but not just a shoot 'em up. There'll be multiple different things, and I think this would just allow people to have a bit of fun and make silly games. Some might be good, but at the end of the day they can produce a PRG file that they can share, right, and it's kind of better for everybody that way. But all of this, you probably won't know where to begin unless you know memory maps and stuff. So I'm going to try and do a lot of like helpers stuff with this, like try and make it so you know like what this is. That's screen RAM for your characters, right? Whatever you want to call it, character ROM. It's not character ROM, it's different stuff, right? And eventually I want to allow you to load in sprite data and SID music and stuff, and I might include a sprite editor, I might include a car map editor, but there's already really good ones out there. I use these two, CarPad and SpritePad, also my own one, Spread64, and now I use Mega Paint, which has been made by one of the Megastyle team, and yeah, I use that to make bitmaps. So I'm going to make it so you can load in That actually says SFX, not SEX. It's just kind of hiding behind. You can see that SFX data, so sound effects data, essentially. For some reason, I can't get this away from windowed mode, so I need to figure that out. I thought it was simple, but a simple checkbox, but it's not. So yeah, you can move these away, and you see they'll just sort of pop up like that. You can put in an address label, and make it kind of a loop point. So you can jump back to that location. So I could call this like start, for example, and then I can always jump back to that point in the program. So I could do stuff like that. I can clean things up, any nodes that are lying about. You can also save. It just saves it as a, I'll just overwrite that one. It saves it as a JSON file. So you can see if I move this away now and load that file there, you can see it. Is that right? Is that what it did? I forget now. It might be broken. There's a lot of things not quite right. So so save that. Desktop, yeah, and then load. Try that again. Yeah, it seems to be right. Save that, and then move these away and load. Yeah, okay, it seems to be working. I've not really tested everything, so some things might not come through. So yeah, you can right mouse click to pan around, and you can zoom in, you can zoom out to a kind of sensible amount. If you click home, it will reset the view. You need to click it twice because it's broken. I'll just make it, I'll force it to do it twice in one click. So yeah, there's all sorts of math operations and stuff like that, stacks and flag stuff. I do need to show the flags at some point, like your negative flag, your interrupt flag, carry flag, all that stuff, your branch flags and everything. So I'll show them kind of like up at the corner or something. They'll always be in screen space up there, so you can see what's happening. Although it's hard to determine what's happening because it's not gonna emulate this at runtime. It just basically gets passed to Vice, and then you run it. That's where you're running it. This isn't an emulator or anything like that, and neither is the game maker file sort of equipped to just convert any game into like a Commodore 64 game. Everything has to be compatible with how Commodore works. There's a lot of work involved in rewriting your code. It won't just take game maker code and convert it. It's not that clever. That's just too much. But like I said, I'd love to make up like templates and stuff for this once I fully figure it out. I just wanted to set this up with everything, all the logic in there, so that I could learn machine code properly. And I know how some stuff works now. So like, yeah, increase here is basically gonna like find what's in D02, right? That's your border. That's like your poke 53280. So if you were to do a peak 53280, you would find what colors in there. And inc ABS just means increase absolutely what's in that. Right, so it's gonna put 0 into it first, then it's gonna increase that border color. So let's say you wanted to jump back to that, you put an address label there and say loop. Right, and then I suppose you could do a bunch of nothing for a while. Like you could do no operation, right? You could potentially put a loop in this and then compare it with the value that you put into some location. Like I've not really figured it all out yet. Like making up variables and stuff like that. Like all you can really do is like just load values into set locations. like load the accumulator, store the accumulator somewhere. So yeah, I think something's missing here. There's STX there. This is a bit of a mess. A wee bit disorganized for me. I might reorganize that. It's a bit hard to understand, but you can store. Looking for store the accumulator absolute. Store, yeah. I guess you could store the accumulator once you've loaded it. Yeah, so you can do a load accumulator. Yeah, with a value, right? Immediate. So you give it a value like 0, and you might want to store that in a location like, I don't know, 100. I think there's the 0 page. That's I think it's 0 to 255 that you can use, but you don't use the first 2 or something like that. I forget what it is. So I put it into 3. That 0 page should read 3, so I can always check that. So you do that, and then you would kind of update it or whatever. I've not really got the patience right now to like make anything until I've really like written it down what needs to happen, and then I can start to populate this. But you can see 2 cycles takes you to there. You know, these are like your I think it's cycles or bytes. Oh, is it bytes? Yeah, number of bytes in the operation takes you there, how many cycles it is and stuff like that. I'm not even sure if I've done this correctly. Like if anyone's used any of these like Kick-Ass or C64 Studio, they'll give me advice on this, right? Hopefully, because I don't know. Honestly, I'm just kind of making up the bare bones of it and see how I can learn from there. So now I would jump, or yeah, I would just jump to that address level, so I can use a jump to loop, right? And if I was to play that, it should effectively be increasing the background color and doing some rubbish here, and just constantly putting something into this. It's just really to slow it down, right? Whatever. Hopefully it works and it doesn't just crash. There we go. So we get this funky pattern. It also tears quite a lot when I'm doing this. I think it's just because of the number of cycles. It's not enough time to do a full raster line. I've not given it enough time. You can see it's actually, it tells you how much it's done by the time it gets back round. It's only done a certain percentage, I think, is what these are, before it changes. So it's almost halfway, which is kind of right, I think, before it jumps. So I think that's something to do with the line drawing. So I put these in there because I just wanted to get as much information out of it as I could. And yeah, I can see that. So now if you look at the code, you can go to activate monitor, right? And this will come up, and you type in D. So we're looking at our address here. In fact, let's go back here and change that to hexadecimal. D080E to, let's say, so we'll get 0822. So I'll do 0825, just go past it a bit. And you can see that's everything that's in there. The SEI, this is the initiation, right? It just clears the background border. And then we're increasing the values in there. No operations. Load the accumulator with 0 and store it into 0 page, I suppose. I think there's a better way to address 0 page. There is some 0 page stuff, and I don't know if I've yet to add it. Yeah, I forget what I've still to add. This list might get huge. So I think that's that, and then it jumps back to here, right? So if I was to look at 03, I want to see if it's got the value 3 in it. I don't know, D0000 to 0005. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't think it has. I don't know if I've done that right at all. So I don't even know if that is how you look at zero page. Unless it's that there. It could be. I mean, I could try put a different value in, like 5. Right, so I'm just learning through. This is my way of like tinkering, right? I'm learning through just trial and error. Right, it's always ending up huge because I do have a 4K monitor, but I've had to make it 1920 by 1080 so that it catches everything. So again, I'll just go into the monitor here. So I want to see if that's changed to 5. So D O to O 6. That's still a 3 there. Yeah, I don't honestly know. Maybe someone can tell me what I'm actually looking at here, and if anyone's quite good at assembly, they can tell me what I'm missing, because again, these aren't really, it's not done the same way either as what you would normally do when you're coding something, so they might be much faster at that, but I'd like to just learn a bit more through people. The books, they don't make much sense to me. I've got a kind of a really bad attention span for reading, but I quite like doing code stuff, so I find that this is a way that I can learn. So my major next step is to make some templates. Once I figure this out and I can make some stuff like joystick input and work out how that works, then I can make up proper templates for people just to like change the graphics and add their own music and all that stuff, and then build it, and it'll become you know, like you see here, a build and run. So once you do build and run it, it will put a file into your C drive, C64 temp. It will go here, called program, right? It will make that folder up and it will be called program. See, I've been doing a lot of mucking about since I started this, although these are, they got all the same date on them. Oh yeah, this was from like early yesterday, I suppose. Some stuff I was testing with. So yeah, it's not much to show because I've not built a massive program with it or anything like that. I just want to see if this saves all right. So I'll just move all these out and then I'll clear it up and load. Yeah, that's all good. Let's do a build. Yep, that works. So I'm quite happy where I've managed to get to. I've just been at this non-stop because it's just crazy how one thing became another. So it started with me just with a couple of nodes. It was literally these, this instruction from GameMaker, then writing a buffer file. And I thought, right, let's get all the instructions made up, and that took a while. And then started to just populate the UI with that. So the actual code is not, well, is quite complicated, to be fair. It's not too crazy. It's just a lot of the same, like a node with a certain byte size, and it all connects up to this this here. Oh, I just noticed a bit of a, oh no, it's not a bug. I'm just moving it out and then back again, so that was a bit strange. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm tripping. Nope. Anyway, that's all working quite nice now, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it. If anyone manages to make something impressive with this, you can obviously share your file, save it and share your little JSON file. I'd love to like throw it in here and fire it up and see what people make, because I'm just like, I'm knackered now just making this, and I'm gonna have to like write down what I need to make and how to do like nested loops for delays and stuff like that, and also have I got everything here that I need? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing stuff. I need to look at the zero page stuff as well, like how to use that properly, because I feel like I'm just guessing. Yeah, I mean that's going to wrap this up. Hopefully yeah, like I say, my next thing is going to be a template thing, but I'm still working on CityCat. I'm doing a lot of bitmaps just now, and mucking about with music. Plus, I started a new big project with just basically getting a prototype off the ground with that, and looking forward to the year ahead. And I guess that's me. Thanks for watching. Bye.